Welcome to Triple Overtake, the podcast where we talk all things F1 related. I'm your host, Kylan. With me are my older brother,
Mason,
and my dad,
Bjorn.
Before we get into the episode, you can email us your questions and we will answer them on air at tripleovertake@gmail.com. You can also find us on Instagram, X, and YouTube. First thing we're going to discuss is the start of the race and Antonelli dropping down 2 places to 3rd.
Antonelli wasn't the only one to fall back. Obviously, he's the one that we're kind of keeping our eyes on, but it seems like Red Bull, too, in the sprint race and in the feature race, did not have as good of starts as they've had the last couple of weeks. It seems like they went back toward the beginning of the season and were slow off the line. But yeah, Kimi dropping down, just making his race all the harder when that happens. He's kind of reverted back to the beginning of the season too, when he was struggling with his race starts.
Yeah, obviously, back at the beginning of the season, they had a higher pace advantage to the other cars, and he was able to make that back up, but he doesn't quite have that pace now. Or at least the Mercedes car doesn't.
Well, I think the Ferraris are... They've fixed their pace issues. They've had good starts, good launches off the line all season, but now they can sustain that launch longer during the race. They can keep pace with the Mercedes and actually fight them more than just the opening couple of laps. So it's probably more Ferrari's improvement than Mercedes' downfall. That would be my guess. You can disagree with me. That's fine.
Oh,
I don't disagree. I actually agree.
Yeah.
Wow.
First time in forever.
First time in forever.
Next we'll talk about the Hamilton penalty and where he could have been without it. I think that if he hadn't had the 5-second penalty, he would have secured P2 at the end there. Obviously, he pit, George didn't, under the safety car, and I think if he had that extra 5 seconds, he would have been ahead.
It was interesting commentary from Jolien and DC. Granted, they're both racers, so they bring the racer's perspective, and they thought the penalty was a little harsh. But thankfully, Jake C says, "Well, the rule is the rule, and if there's any movement, that's a jump start. There's a penalty." Mason, did you have something else to add?
I just totally forgot that he got a penalty, so I remember now.
Yep, for his jump start.
Yep.
But he served it during the race, and even with that, he was still very competitive. The question to pit at the end of the race under the safety car could be debated. I think it's the right call, just because they do want to try to restart the race under most circumstances. For whatever reason, they didn't restart the race. Had they completed the last lap under a green flag, I think Hamilton gets that spot. So I do think it's the right call. It just didn't work out for them this time.
Yeah. Next, we'll talk about the Piastri incident. I don't think we even saw what happened. Maybe we did. But obviously, he fell to the back of the grid. He had to change his front wing, and he was at the back for a majority of the race. I think he made it back up to P11. Missed out on the points. It's not great for his race.
No, you never like to see the top teams and the top drivers being taken out on the opening lap. Unfortunate for Oscar. Unfortunately for him, he's not really been able to show what he's capable of this year. So hopefully that time's coming, because we know he's a great driver, future champion, I would assume. He almost won it last year. Maybe should have won it last year, but we'll see. We'll see where his season ends up. It sounds like McLaren's maybe bringing some upgrades in the near future. And hopefully they can get those ironed out. We know the last couple of years they've definitely won the upgrades race compared to the other constructors. So hopefully that, for McLaren anyway, that they can do that again.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate for Oscar because I don't even know if he really had contact with another car or not. I wonder if it was just like a failure, like it just broke maybe, I'm not sure.
I think he did like clip the back of maybe Lando's car or Lawson's. Trying to remember. I think he hit like the.
Well, he must have hit somebody because
Mhm.
I mean, just the way the wing looked, it
You
was from
must
contact.
have, but I don't ever remember seeing any replays of that. So I don't know.
Yeah, just
Definitely hampered his race.
yeah. Verstappen would eventually undercut the front runners, and Hamilton and Russell would pit on the same lap later on, and all three of them would meet back up at lap 29. Max was ahead, and it was George and Hamilton because Hamilton fell behind George because of the penalty. Hamilton overtook George. They were fighting for a while. It lasted around 6 laps until Russell eventually got a puncture. And just another thing going on with Mercedes. Obviously, the puncture and Antonelli's front wing, it just seems like are having a lot of issues this season.
It's just so strange. Like this never happened in the last seasons. Like random punctures and random parts of your car just breaking. I mean, not with the top teams, I would say, but yeah, it's just unfortunate, unlucky.
Yeah,
Hmm.
in the last seasons, it would have been from contact or it would have been reliability issues, not, or like engine reliability, not,
Which tire was it for George? Was it left front? Because they said
no, it was
It
rear
was the
right.
rear right tire.
okay, so it wasn't even from strain necessarily because the left front takes a lot of the load through the corners.
Hmm.
Yeah, it is interesting. Just going back to Max, though, I think they learned their lesson from last race and they brought him in at the right time, going for the undercut, like you said. They didn't want to leave him out there too long. So the right strategy call. Um, Good fighting throughout the race, I think. I did read something that Fernando said, and I agree with him a little bit. Actually, probably more than a little bit. Fernando was saying that with this generation of cars, with this regulation set, I said it earlier, I'll say it again. This race, I think, was a step backwards. It reminded me of the beginning of the year where you had uh, overtake and re-overtake and a lot of yo-yoing back and forth between drivers, just hitting the overtake button. And Fernando's complaint was that you don't have to outbrake somebody, you don't have to put a move going around the outside. You just hit the button and go past them. So yeah, this race there was a little bit of that. Um, the previous couple races it was legitimate racing, and I think this was more down to technology and pressing the button. So hopefully we can get away from that and get back toward legitimate F1 racing that we're used to.
Yeah, I don't know how that's going to work around Spa. It's a very long track, so we'll have to see during the practice session how that works out. Mo- Moving on from that, yet another Hulkenberg DNF. I think it's around 5 or 6 this year, maybe more. Like, when will it end for Hulkenberg and Audi?
It never ends.
Last race. He finished last race.
Yep.
No, there again, Hulk is a much better driver than the points reflect. Um, it's just one of those weird seasons with the new regulation set. It's just still trying to figure things out. Some teams have greater reliability issues than others, but reliability seems to be an issue across the board for most teams. It's really hitting Audi, really hitting Hulk specifically.
Mm-hmm.
You
But on
remember?
the flip side, you had both Astons and both Cadillacs finishing the race.
Hmm. But I remember last year, Alonso didn't score points until round like 9, and he would finish in the top 10. Like, who was it? Alonso. Actually, yeah, Alonso again in 22. He had like 8 DNFs that year. There is definitely like someone each year where they just get the
The bad luck bug.
yeah.
When I think if Audi figures it out, they've got a good car, and Hulk will score points,
Hopefully,
hopefully.
obviously Bortoleto finishing P8 after all the shenanigans, and it's a good. That's their best finish as Audi, so it's good for them, but still have to work on that reliability.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Another person who had some reliability more with the car was Verstappen. Another instance involving the rear wing. Obviously, Max wanted to change that and start from pit lane, but Red Bull denied that and he crashed.
Mason, tell us how you feel about that.
Sad.
I think you were more than sad on
Mhm.
Sunday.
Well, I was just sad. So
You were pretty upset.
I believe you said you're never going to watch F1 again.
I did not say
You
that.
said that.
No. I don't
You
think
maybe
I said
question
that.
why you watch F1.
No. I
Mm,
don't. You're putting words in my mouth.
No. Maybe you just blacked out.
I remember saying I don't like the British Grand Prix, but I kind of do. It's a good track, but I just said that in the moment. But yeah, I,
Yeah, I think we were all pretty heartbroken. All of our jaws were on the floor. And I think we all let out a collective scream of no.
I think
Um,
all
yeah.
of us thought that that was Kimmy because he had the damage. I think we all thought that he had just finally went off into the gravel, and then they showed the like card at the bottom that said Max.
through the gravel dust.
So disappointing.
Yeah.
Yep.
He had some good pace during this race. He definitely could have been on the podium, but right at the end.
I
The
think
rear
for,
wing just didn't close all the way.
I think he's for sure on the podium if that doesn't happen. And yeah, Red Bull seems to have figured things out from the beginning of the season because Hadjar did great. He was what, P5?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, they've got better pace now. They just need to finish the race.
Keep Max happy so he stays at Red Bull.
Mm-hmm.
Don't make him leave F1.
No. I think we could all agree with Max when he said he just wanted to go home.
Yeah. Obviously, that crash brought out the safety car. I believe almost everyone pit besides George and Kimi. I was really questioning why they didn't pit Kimi. Obviously, with the 5-second penalty, even if the race got restarted for the last lap, he had the 5-second penalty. He would have dropped back either way. So I was just questioning why they didn't bring him in, serve the penalty, and bring him back out. Maybe I think Gasly stayed out for one lap longer. Maybe that's I don't know. They thought that he would be outside the points, but if they did think that there would be another lap, why wouldn't they do that when he has better pace? I don't know.
Yeah, it's interesting. But going back to Kimi earlier, what I would like to see from him moving forward is just a little more calm under pressure. When he had his failure, that was at the front wheel guard or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Yeah. When that broke, you could tell on the radio that they wanted more information from him. They wanted to know what it was they're needing to fix, but there's a little panic in his voice, and rightfully so. It's a high stress, high emotion thing. We can't imagine what they're going through at that moment. Um, but as he gets older, as he matures, just giving the people in the pit the information they need so that he doesn't have to pit twice to fix one issue, right? Because he came in, they put new tires on, new front wing on, went back out, had the issue, then they figured out what it was. If he stays out another lap, they figured out he comes in one time instead of two times. Then he maybe doesn't have those track limits penalties or penalty because they figured out the issue, and they don't have to worry about that at the end of the race if they bring him in under a safety car or not. So, but I do like his winner's mentality of I'm going to fight for that point, even if it's a point I'm going to stay out.
Yep.
Compare that to George, who, we don't have the straight line speed, and Toto gets on the radio and says, that's not the issue, George. We have straight line speed. George seems to complain even when they have a good car, and Kimi's out there fighting for a point in a broken car. That's what I want to see. I want to see that winner's attitude and mentality.
Yeah, I agree. Also, when Kimi did come in and they changed his tires and his front wing, I don't understand how none of the pit crew saw that part was broken and just sitting there. Then they put him back out, even though they changed his front wing and it was right there. So I'd say that's also on the pit crew too, because I mean Kimi, from his eye level, he won't be able to see that part broke. He wouldn't have been able to see that, so that's on the team too.
Yeah, the only thing I could think of this morning was they're so focused on doing their job, they're not looking for anything else. I'm here to get the tire off and on. That's my job. No one's there looking for broken parts. But I don't know.
I thought someone was checking for broken suspension.
Well, that's right. That's right. They were checking the rear suspension. So it's such an odd failure.
Yeah.
They probably didn't know what they were looking for.
Yeah, I think if it had happened earlier on in the lap, they would have been able to see that from the onboards, and they would have been able to get that off. But since it was so late on, right before the pit exit, or not pit exit, pit entry, they just didn't know what was going on. The safety car, it displayed that it was ending on lap 51, and then it stayed out. I think it maybe not ruined, but it definitely lessened the view of what the race could have been.
Right.
Yeah, they hyped us up for it to end, and then it just stayed out there.
Then the thunderous boos from the crowd, and rightfully so. People want to see racing, even if it's just one lap. They want to see the checkered flag come out. They want to see people fighting for that last position.
Unless it's 2021.
No, yeah, no. Exactly. Toto did come out and say that's how 2021 should have ended, was under the safety car.
You win some, you lose some.
We had a strange penalty, though. Carlos Sainz ends up with a one-lap penalty because apparently he had unlapped himself when he entered the pit. So when it was time for lapped cars to unlap themselves, he went again, even though he had technically unlapped himself. But it's interesting, Lando was asking, he said, I suppose we can't finish the race in the pit lane because of the way the pit lane's set up. You would cross the finish line before the actual finish line.
Yeah, Michael Schumacher did that a while back. Jarno Ottmeyer did that in esports and won the race. I don't know. Yeah.
It doesn't hurt to ask, I guess.
Leclerc somehow won this race. He has had many struggles these past few races. I think it's great to see him finally back on that top step and getting the pace out of that Ferrari.
That's the upside to this race is the Charles win. I think we all rate Charles very highly. And a lot of his issues this year have been himself, perhaps pushing too hard, trying to get too much out of the car, just wanting to do well, wanting to be on that top step. And this week it all came together for him. So I'm very happy for Charles, glad that he got that win that's been a little bit elusive recently. But yeah, Ferrari, I think, is a contender this year.
And I hope Charles can just keep this momentum and keep bringing it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's very good around Belgium. I think he'll be able to get it up there. Double point. You're gonna say something?
No, go for it.
Okay. Double points for Racing Bulls. Double points for Alpine. The gap is closing. Alpine's at 60 points. Racing Bulls is at 59. This is something to watch out for the rest of the season.
Yeah, we were talking about that last episode too. This is turning into a pretty good battle. Lawson and Lindblad are both driving very well. Uh, Gasly has been consistent all year. Colapinto's been a little up and down, but definitely showing improvement. This is definitely the midfield race to watch.
Yeah, and it was a good race from Franco because he started from 19th
Yeah,
too. So
right.
Mm-hmm. Let's go over our biggest winner and biggest loser from the race. I think the biggest winner has to be Charles getting some momentum back and just finally winning again. I can go over the top 10 if you want me to.
So who's your biggest loser then? Are we doing that?
Biggest loser, Max. I think he had such good pace, and after all of that, to end up with nothing is just not great.
For biggest winner, I will go with Bortoleto. I think it was just a good, clean race from him. Yeah. Biggest loser, I'll go for Kimi, just because he's in the championship, he's fighting for it, and yeah, George scored a lot more points than he did, getting second place as well. So yeah, unfortunate for Kimi.
Yeah, that's 2 races in a row now for George that he takes home a good haul of points without really being not even close to the best driver of the day. I mean,
No.
he's probably should have finished 5th
Yeah.
this week when he won. Last week, probably should have really been in 3rd at most. Anyway, biggest winner, I'll agree with Kylan and go with Charles. Charles needed this. It's good for him. Hopefully, like we said, he can keep it going in the future and really bring the fight to Mercedes and Lewis and Kimi and George. And it's going to be fun to watch. Biggest loser, I've got a couple of those. I think the fans in general are the biggest loser. We deserve to see that last lap shootout. We're kind of robbed of that. Mentioned this already, but it seems that with this regulation set, we've gone backwards again towards the beginning of the season. But yeah, you can also throw in Max, Kimi, Oscar. Reliability still plaguing a lot of drivers and a lot of teams. So a lot to be negative about, I guess.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about F2. Solov winning his 5th race of the season, 6th.
Sixth, I
Yep.
believe.
Yeah, obviously great from him. He's looking dominant in F2, and surely he has a seat next year. It's
Are you sure?
Nothing is certain. He might have a seat this year if Max decides to take a sabbatical. Who knows?
Don't say that.
So the record for most wins in F2 is 7, and Solov is on 6 wins halfway through the season. So he's won 3 in a row. Feature race, sprint race, feature race. He is on a roll. He seems to have the edge over Mini. He's looking very difficult to stop at this point. Hopefully he can keep that momentum going. The battle seems to be down to Solov and Mini at this point. Kamara and Dunn have just kind of fallen away. But if Solov wins again at Spa, it's looking like it's his championship to lose.
Yep.
Yeah. Go to fantasy now. My first team scored 286 points. I had Kimi doubled, Lindblad, Lawson, Hadjar, Hulkenberg, Mercedes, and Ferrari. Uh, it's good for Mercedes and Ferrari. They both scored 92 points, so I got 184 just from them. So that's good.
My normal team, I got 247 points. The only change I made was I got Racing Bulls instead of Haas.
My normal team, I had 284 points, and the change I made this week is I got rid of Pierre Gasly and picked up Isaac Hadjar.
My draft team scored 291. I used the 3x on Kimi and I doubled Lewis.
Ouch.
Yeah, it was looking good until, Kimi had that issue. But I still got decent points. Kimi tripled, got 69 points, and Lewis doubled, got 66. And the rest of my team, Behrman, Lindblad, Bortoleto, Ferrari, and Audi.
My draft team got 289 points. Yep, no changes to my team, so
I also made no changes to my draft team. I had 292 points. Everybody scored positive points this week except Nico Hulkenberg, and based off of the people that I've drafted and their price they are for picking them up, I can't really make any changes, so I'm kind of stuck with this team now.
yeah.
And my no change team scored 258. Obviously, having Hulkenberg is not great, especially when Mason has Lindblad.
And yep, I got 283 points.
I had 311.
Wow.
Yeah. In the first league, I'm first. Bjorn is second. Mason is third. I am almost 300 points in the lead on that one. Draft league, I'm first. Mason is behind by around 150. Bjorn is almost 300 points behind Mason. That's not great. And the no change team, Bjorn is in first, and Mason's behind by 35, and I am behind Mason by 100. For predictions this week on the fantasy app, I scored 96.
I scored 101.
Nice. I had 77.
Yeah, I got 60% of the predictions right. I think
Me too.
I did too.
I should have used, or I should have selected that a British driver would not win, even though I selected Kimi for mostly everything else. I just thought that with the amount of British drivers at the top, I would cover some bases there.
The odds would be in your favor.
Yeah.
Are we doing our podcast predictions now, or different
Sure.
episode?
I guess we can do that now.
What? You're not gonna say that I took the lead in the
Oh, sorry.
predictions
Sorry,
league?
sorry.
Come on.
Wow.
Thought we were moving on. Mason took the lead in the predictions. He has 802. Bjorn is in second at 801. And I'm in third at 770.
Whoa.
It's getting close.
The comeback has happened. I'm back.
Just wait until next week.
Just call us Racing Bulls and Alpine.
Nope, because I'm not forgetting to do predictions again. So it's over for you guys until I forget again.
Maybe. In our predictions episode, we did a lot of things. We went winner, loser, sprint quali pool, random, and we did that for everything. So this might take a while. Bjorn went for biggest winner Mercedes. I don't think.
No.
And
Can't give that one to me.
Biggest loser Ferrari. No.
Nope.
Mason went for Kimi for biggest winner.
No.
And loser Carlos Sainz.
Well,
Yeah.
he did get that penalty, so
Yeah, I think he might
A
have.
very rare penalty. So
Yeah, he finished 17th behind both Cadillacs.
and
So,
he was actually having a good race before that, so
yeah.
that probably doesn't help my case, but
I went for biggest winner Piastri, no, and biggest loser Racing Bulls, no. Yeah, I really thought that the power unit would come more into play this week, but it didn't. I thought the Mercedes would be good,
according to the FIA, Red Bull have the best power unit, so
but like, no, they don't. At least the complete engine. For sprint quali pole, Bjorn went for Kimi, Mason went for Lewis, I went for George. Lewis did get that.
let's go.
Nice. Good job.
The random position for sprint quali was 11th. That was Gasly. Bjorn went for Bortoletto, Mason went for Hulkenberg, and I went for Lawson, so none of us got that one. Sprint winner, Bjorn went for Kimi, which is correct. Mason went for Lewis, and I went for Norris. The random position for the sprint was P3. That was Lando. Bjorn went for Piastri, Mason went for Russell, I went for Kimi. None of us got that one. For pole, Bjorn went for Kimi, Mason went for Kimi, I went for George because I didn't want all of us to choose Kimi. I should have still picked Kimi, but yeah. The random position for quali was P5, which was Hadjar. Bjorn went for Lando Norris, Mason went for Charles Leclerc, I went for Max Verstappen. He ended up P8, P7. Can't remember.
Who?
Max. Did I say
Oh.
Max?
What?
For quali?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't
Um,
remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was out qualified by Hadjar.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 8th.
Or no, 7th. This
Seventh?
wasn't Piastri behind him.
I don't remember, but the race podium, Bjorn went for Kimi, Max, Oscar. None of those are correct. Mason went for Kimi, Hamilton, Max, which was close, but obviously Max crashing, Hamilton dropping down to third. Yeah. And I went for Kimi, George, Oscar. George was correct. The random race position, Bjorn went for Colapinto, Mason went for Behrman, which was correct.
What position was this?
P12, sorry. And this is a lot of things to
This is
talk
a lot
about.
of things, yeah.
And I went for Lindblad. Bjorn's crazy prediction was a Cadillac driver into Q2 in either sprint quali or normal qualifying, which did not happen. Mason said that both Cadillacs would finish the main race, which is correct.
Whoa.
Nice job.
Forgot about that.
And I said Gasly top 7 in sprint and race, which was very wrong. Yeah, and then I also said that Audi would have no reliability issues, and I think I jinxed that. So close, but we predicted F2 pole. Bjorn said Kamara. Mason said Solov. I said Mini. Kamara got that. F2 sprint winner. Bjorn said Van Hoopen. Mason said Bogdanovich, and I went for Belinsky. None of us were even close on any of
No.
those. And the F2 podium, Bjorn went for Kamara, Solov, Mini. None of those positions are right. Mason went for Solov in first, so that
Good
was
job.
correct. Kamara P2 and Dunn P3. Those did not. Then I went crazy for my podium. Stenshorn, Gertha, and Mini, and none of those worked out.
Stenshorn didn't even start the race.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to be looking forward to next year. He started off so well at those last few races last year, and then first race this year, and then it's just kind of fallen apart for him.
Yeah. Can't believe I got that Cadillac prediction right.
Yeah, usually you're the one that says they don't have reliability, or they get up into Q2 with Checo, and
Always,
that hasn't
yeah.
happened yet, but yeah.
Gotta switch it up
Yep.
for the 4th of July. They both finished the race.
Yep.
Is this the part of the show when you announce the big news?
I wouldn't say it's really big news, and
Okay.
it's probably not accurate,
I don't
but
even know.
a
This is a
news
surprise.
source has said that Piastri has said that he wants out of McLaren and that Max and Piastri could swap. This might not even happen for a while because Max's like window for when he can leave is like from summer break to October with the exit clause, but Piastri could leave.
There's a lot of rumors swirling around Max right now after this last weekend. Then you had Will Buxton kind of adding fuel to the fire, saying that there was going to be a big announcement, and a lot of people assumed that was an F1 announcement. Yeah, people have been talking about this swap for a while now, though. This goes back to last year with the Piastri and Max swap. Both are under contract. Both don't really seem very happy where they're at. I don't know if they're going to be more happy by switching.
I know, because it's just like a parallel move, really, because they're both pretty close to each other in pace. I'd say McLaren are actually probably slower than Red Bull right now, so it just
Yeah.
seems like a weird move to me.
Yeah, I agree. Because you'd think for either of those two, I mean, Max is a proven champion 4 times over. Oscar has championship capabilities. You'd think they'd want to go up, which would mean Mercedes or Ferrari at this point.
Yeah.
Although a Piastri Hadjar battle would be pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that
Same
would
with
be
Lando
good.
Max. It would be interesting.
Oh, I don't think it'd be close between Lando and
No,
Max.
I don't think
No,
so
probably
either.
not.
But the Oscar Hadjar one would be interesting.
Yeah.
But I don't want that. Having Max not in Red Bull just seems so weird. That would be so weird to see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Him not wearing Red Bull merch everywhere. Oh,
But
Yeah,
they've got to do something to prove to him that he should stay.
yeah.
But everyone's abandoning Red Bull. I mean, look at all the people that have left over the last couple of years. It wouldn't surprise me if Max leaves.
Yeah.
Someone else that doesn't seem very happy where he's at is Carlos Sainz. If I were Carlos, I'd be kicking myself that I didn't go to Audi.
I think that he has seen what Williams can do. Obviously, 2 podiums last year. But how many promises can James Vowles make before he gives up on that project?
Mm-hmm. Well, he doesn't seem very happy with this regulation set either. He and Fernando and Max have kind of been the most vocal of the drivers about this regulation set. So whether it's Williams or just the regulations themselves, those three are not happy with the state of racing. But don't worry, in 2031 they're going to bring back refueling, which seems like a
Maybe.
big mistake to me.
Yeah.
at least Fernando won the Lego race.
Equal engines. Yeah. I think it definitely was. The Lego race was a step down from Miami last year. I think not having both drivers in the same car definitely ruined some of that.
Yeah.
Just
Well, you can't recapture the magic. You know, once you do it once, it's never going to be the same again.
yeah. What was I gonna say?
I don't know.
I do this every episode. Apparently, they're going to be bringing more sprint races next year.
Why?
I don't know. Hopefully, it's just 8 and not 12. 8 would still be too much, but 12 would just be insane. I know that Monza will be getting one until 2029, which is good because I think Monza is a good track for a sprint race. But we don't need more.
We definitely don't need more. It makes sense in F2 and F3 because they have fewer rounds in which they compete. So you have 2 races per weekend. there's 24 rounds in F1. Do we really need 30 races? It seems a lot. I mean, you feel for the drivers. They're racing at high speeds under high stress. Um, it takes its toll, I would think, mentally, physically. I don't think we need to be adding more.
No.
No.
Yeah, I think that's all the news that we've gotten. I think we'll wrap it up there. We'll see you, or as goodbye from the Triple Overtake crew. We will see you in the next episode. Good ending.
Audio.